Hello students. You all are aware about the devices used in the process of spinning. So, what are they? Yes, Takli and Charkha are some hand-driven simple spinning devices by which fibers are spun into yarn. But do you know how these yarns are used in making such beautiful fabrics? Well, to answer this question, I am going to introduce two methods by which fabrics are made from yarns. So, the methods by which yarn is made into fabric are weaving and knitting. Now the question arises, is there any role of thread in weaving or knitting? Are yarn and thread the same thing or different? Here I want to clear your doubt that thread is a tightly twisted strand of two or more yarn, and it is mostly used in sewing or stitching the pieces of fabric, which can be carried out either by our hands, sewing machines at home, or in industries. Whereas yarn is mainly used to weave or knit into a fabric. And this thread is made comparatively thicker than the yarn. Now, do you know the reason why is this thread made thicker than the yarn? Yes, it is made in such a way so that we can handle it easily while stitching different clothing items, for joining pieces of fabric, or to sew garments. So, in simple words, we can say that thread is mainly used for stitching purpose, whereas yarn is used to make textile fabrics. So, what is textile fabric? Well, textile fabrics are such fabrics that are knitted or woven and made from yarn. Thus, the textile industry is the industry responsible for taking a raw material like cotton or wool fibers and spinning it into yarn and then using it to create fabric. So students, both the terms, that is yarn and thread, can be used interchangeably in context of fabric making. Okay, let's come back to our topic. So I was saying that weaving and knitting are the methods by which yarn is made into fabric. And I have already given you a brief introduction about both the methods in our previous modules. But in this module, we will be discussing each of these methods in a more explanatory way. And we shall also discuss how is weaving different from knitting. Let's start with weaving first. So, how do you define weaving? Okay, to define this term, just observe me carefully. Here, I'm going to perform an activity, and you all have to guess what would be the definition of weaving. And for the activity, we need a red colored sheet, 12 yellow paper strips, Fevi-stick, and a pair of scissors. Now students, here I want to mention that you can take sheets of any color, but try using contrasting color sheets so that in the end you get a beautiful woven design. Now let's begin the activity. Here, fold the red sheet in horizontal way like this. And cut the paper sheet from the folded side. Students, the thing that should be taken care of here is, don't cut the sheet all through the end. Rather, cut it up to this mark, right here. And mark this as your final point. Similarly, cut the entire folded sheet lengthwise at equal distances. Now, after the red paper is cut in the specific pattern, take the first yellow strip and working from right to left, if you are right-handed, set it like this. By inserting it through the first slot, then over the next vertical strip, then down through the next slot, now over the next vertical slot, and so on. Thus, weave the strip up and down through the slots in the red sheet. Now, arrange the next yellow strip in a similar manner, but by inserting it from under through the first slot. Then, over the second slot, now under the next slot, and so on. After setting all the 12 yellow strips in the red slotted sheet, our cardboard loom looks like this. Isn't it looking beautiful? And see how beautifully the pattern is made by using two different colored sheets. So, what were we doing in this activity? Yes, we were arranging two different set of strips together to make a beautiful pattern.